Aujourd'hui, je vais parler de why Baldur's Gate 3 is really climbing in my brain for one of my all-time favorite spots. Yes, I am serious, like favorite ever, and I didn't even know that I'd be a CRPG fan. It's a little bit of nuts. I would agree with that. Yeah. Hey, Zampuck here. So I know I'm late to the party, okay? I know Baldur's Gate 3 came out 2 whole years ago, but luckily for me and my gaming philosophy, that the truly great games are timeless. So a few years late, I think totally okay with me, and my household is definitely on a Baldur's Gate 3 tear right now. Wifey and I have both put in already a bit more than 100 hours each into this game. And we're barely at the beginning of the last act. It's absolutely crazy how much I love this game. Now, of course, I am a cynic, so I still have nitpicks such as the occasional, almost character-breaking bugs, or a lack of a collect-all loot in an area button that just makes some sections feel unnecessarily slow and sluggish. But compared to those maybe a handful of complaints, I think my compliments to the games would overwhelm the negatives by a factor of possibly 100 to 1. So this game is rapidly coming up my all-time favorite list, and honestly, I've barely played a CRPG since, what was it? My goodness, probably like Neverwinter Nights, like decades ago. So today's rant is just a love letter to why I think Baldur's Gate 3 feels so freaking sweet for an old school gamer like myself who grew up really on, Street Fighter 2 and JRPGs instead, okay? If you enjoy some random rants from a dude with absolutely no production skills, clearly like, subscribe, share, comment, or whatever. I'll be great regardless, because I just do these for funsies. Hit that bell icon. I don't even know where that is, because I never do it myself, but I'm asking you guys to do so because, I don't know, I'm a casual hypocrite on these rather minor internet details. So the first thing I want to mention about Baldur's Gate 3 is its incredible class variety. I mean, I just feel everyone's avatar, the custom characters that you can make, they feel very deeply personal right now. My wifey started as a sorcerer, I think mostly because she liked how the robe looked or something. But of course I started off as a rogue because I wanted to be a sneaky sneak. So that's one charisma-based lead and one dexterity-based dungeon crawler. But as I'm playing and picking my companions, so I really started going down the best of Baldur's Gate 3 builds rabbit hole on the internet, and I'm just reading about all the curious combinations and synergies that one can get via multiclassing. And this has gotten me so hyped to try out more and more builds, and I love how you can respec your character for relatively cheap, and that's also relatively soon after the game starts. So even if I started out as a rogue, I can try something totally different if I'm really tired of my original class, right? So far, we're just talking about the custom characters, of course, and not even the origin characters, who apparently all have additional flavor. So already that means, besides the 2 games we have started currently in this household, I'd have to clear the game by my conservative estimate, probably maybe like 10 more times to get the, I would say, like 80-90% of the scenarios. My god, I know there are literally tons of endings or variations of endings to this game, so I probably will never see them all, but from where I'm at my Baldur's Gate journey, before even seeing a single ending, all I can think about is, oh my god, what if I replay this game as, one of the other dozens of classes that sounded super sweet, right? And the build variety and replayability just sounds, it's bonkers. I even as conceptually, I think it's just so good. Second point, right? The quality of the voice acting combined with facial expressions in this game. I mean, you can look at me, I am an old dude, so I've always said previously that I'm totally fine with most games having 0 voice acting, okay? I mean, my stance was that, because to be honest, a lot of the games in the PlayStation 1 through 4 era has done like partial voice acting, and that's just kind of, to me, very meh or mid. Don't get me wrong, it's nice to hear what a main character would sound like, but oftentimes the voice acting is only for like major characters, and therefore silence still befell the majority of the playtime. But not Baldur's Gate 3. Not only does literally everyone from NPCs and even animals are voice acted, or dead people, they do so with very reasonable facial expressions that for me in an RPG brings a level of immersion to a brand new, just its peak, okay? In this game so far, I cannot tell you how many times I'm just like, hey, I did just save scum, and I am listening to the same exchange for the 5th time in a row, but I'm not even annoyed by my depraved playstyle because the voice acting is so good and on the spot that I could just listen to these, you know, video game characters talk about the world that they inhabit in like all day long. That's how much I love it. And now my last point, I want to mention the additional level of details for lore in terms of items descriptions or book snippets that can be read, or paintings that actually look like something. There's just so many items in this game that I feel like I could spend an entire day or 2 or maybe even 5 just reading through the descriptions for additional lore. Though to be fair, I always feel like I might need like one of those police murder boards with the pins and lines just to connect all that lore together. But it's a nice problem to have, okay? Now, I want to compare this type of lore dump versus something like how Elden Ring built lore, another game that I loved, right? Elden Ring's lore is basically only from item descriptions, like no one tells you anything. And maybe some random plaques or statues here and there in the world. Now, Baldur's Gate does have this same type of opaque storytelling, but like at 100x the volume, because there's just so many more items, right? And Baldur's Gate also gives you the much more explicit hints as to where you should go and do next. If you say pick up a book and read something that's actually, you know, directly quest related. This game simply updates your relevant quest journal entry rather than hope that you read every single line and extrapolates that information specifically and connects them. Now, I think this is a great balance, because if you wanted more lore and more comprehensive understanding of how like factions work and how this world works, well, you know, outside of those quest-related books, there's like 100 times more books that you can read that's just for flavor text and for shits and giggles, really. I mean, I have saved up so many lore books already in the first 2 acts of BG3 at this point, that I think is honestly, like, I just love the fact that I could just go and read this like a novel for even more information if I wanted to. So, amazing. So, in conclusion, I mean, maybe I am just in the honeymoon stage of the game. It's possible my opinion might settle a bit after a couple of more months. I can also see that, you know, after I finish a playthrough, that I might need to take a break and not totally burn out on a single game alone. But unlike even some of the other RPGs that I have loved in the last few years, such as Persona 5 or, you know, the Like a Dragon series of JRPGs, I am actively dreaming about restarts and new game pluses already with Baldur's Gate, right? Whereas with the other games, I played them all the way through, I love them, but I'm like, I don't need to play them again. Okay. To me, that's a great sign that my Steam for this game won't drop. I'm also anxious to hear my wifey's opinion on this game long term. Okay, right now, I've asked her already, and she says she's not sure whether she likes Baldur's Gate 3 more than Fallout 4. Yikes. I mean, who knows? Action speaks louder than words, right? Because right now, in our household, we're fighting over who gets the PS5 time for this game. So, maybe she's lying to herself, and if she, or if she's not, that's okay too, because that means more Baldur's Gate 3 for me for months on end. So, no real downsides here. How about you guys? Do you agree with me, or am I off my rockers, or have you not tried the game? If not, Jesus Christ, I think you should. If you have any interest in RPGs at all, this is the best, okay? Okay, till next time, cheers. A la Protion.